gonna stop me from harassing these bitches? Why do I have to take accountability for what other men do?
Men can't hold men accountable because they're scared they're gonna get their ass beat.
Exactly.
So he is trying to make the claim that women, because they are constantly under attack, if they are simply asking for men to abstain from participating in said attacks of women asking men to abstain from those things is them trying to quote unquote perfect society. Deontay Kyle's clip, the Grits and Eggs podcast, the clip that went viral and got the men crashing out, is it just keeps getting better and better and better. And by that, I mean, it's just exposing more and more weirdos out here. Listen to some of these reactions, or I mean, just listen to this reaction, this take. But first I'm gonna play. This is how men are reacting to it. Like almost verbatim, this is how men are reacting.
This nigga want bitches to feel safe. Stop all that pandering. She not gonna let you hit. Cut them weak ass locks off too, nigga. If you don't feel safe, why the hell you outside? Stay your ass in the house if you ain't trying to hold you here. Feminist. You light skinned. Why we listening to you? Why they scared of me for? I ain't be no bitch. So I can't have your number? Well, fuck you then, ugly ass. Who gon' stop me from harassing these bitches? Why do I have to take accountability for what other men do? All these bitches is the same. She throwing ass, she obviously want me to get up on. This nigga like women being comfortable.
Hey, that last one took a nigga out. Oh my God, man. What is wrong with y'all, dog? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? And you know what's funny? If you know, you know. That's not even an exaggeration. That's not an exaggeration. Everything he said, I guarantee you, he literally just saw and heard men saying it. Because I saw and heard men say the exact same fucking thing.
Bullshit. It's really this whole Deontay Kyle, men are accountable for the men who are terrible bullshit is really like opened up a train of thinking for me, and I really got to get this out. It seems as if women want to perfect the social environment instead of existing within it. And what I mean by that is, like, imagine a hunter goes into the woods and instead of accepting the fact that there's bears and mosquitoes and old trees that might fall and dangers, instead of him accepting that, he starts complaining. Why are there bears out here? Oh my God, why are the mosquitoes biting? Instead of choosing to stay indoors and go live in the city and buy your meat out of a market. Follow me.
Real quick. So he is trying to make the claim that women, because they are constantly under attack and they have to always deal with the threat of attack, right? And mistreatment. If they are simply asking for men to abstain from participating in said attacks and, procedures and attitudes and treatment of women, right? Actions. Women asking men to abstain from those things is them trying to quote unquote perfect society. Is that what we're calling human rights? People trying to perfect society? Because I'm going to take the exact same thing that this dummy just said, and I'm going to apply it to black men, because we're black men, right? I'm not going to do the race thing. I'm not gonna do the like, but I'll do it with another group because I said this is what I'm saying. If black men are out here like, hey, we need to stop police brutality. If black men came out here and said, we need to stop the police from over policing us and locking us up disproportionately. White people do the same. They do drugs at the same rate as we do, but for some reason, we're in prison 10 times more than they are for the same fucking crime. Okay, right? Police need to stop pulling black men over. Whatever the case may be, harassing us, yada, 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 right? This would be like if then a police officer, I don't care if it's a black or a white police officer, if a police officer got online and said, it sounds like the black man wants to perfect society because he's asking for police to stop harassing black men and stop shooting them down in the streets. If you scared, go to church, nigga. Stay home. What? So I can't go outside? I can't live my life? I can't go to the store? I should just order Uber Eats and become a fucking recluse? Is that the solution here? The solution is to abstain. Hey, AIDS exists, everybody. STIs and STDs exist, everybody. You know the cure, just abstain from sex. And then nobody will catch anything. Also, humanity will die off, but who cares, right? That's a small price to pay. If your solution is some fucking extreme, like staying indoors, you don't have a fucking solution. It's the same thing with me. When people ask me, what's your advice to women when it comes to dealing with men? And I say, I have only one bit of advice that I can offer to women, like as a blanket statement, right? And that is to not deal with men at all, because I don't know which men are safe. And far too many men are not safe, and far too many women are abused. So I can't in good conscience tell women to go out and deal with any fucking man. Not in general. You're my homie. You're my homegirl. Yes, I can talk to you individually, but as a group, I can't. But I don't really have a solution for women when it comes to that. My solution, my approach is to talk to men to make men better so that they don't have to be fucking harming women, so that they aren't the harm, or so that they don't harm women. That way we don't have to tell women to protect themselves and don't walk down this street and don't dress like that or whatever. That's my real solution, is to make men better, not to tell women to abstain from men. That's what I go to though when men ask me. That's the go-to, because I'm like, yeah, if you want me, because they just be wanting to hear me give women advice, right? And I go, okay, cool. I got some advice I'll offer women. Stay the fuck away from men. Now what? Oh, they don't expect me to say that. Now they crashing out. If that is your take, if your take is to do some extreme action, you don't really have a take. You don't really have a solution. Telling women to stay home and avoiding outdoors because men are there, you're not a real person. You're an NPC, dog. That's not a human response to what's going on. That's fucking a computer generated. That's AI. That's crazy. You're fucking Chat GPT, bro. Chat GPT at this point.
Bad person if I say, if you don't like those environments and the negative things that come with those environments, stay out of those environments.
What environments? Work, school, libraries, trains, buses. What environments are you talking about? You think this is only happening in fucking hookah lounges and clubs? You're a dummy.
I have never been to a club in my entire life. I have never been to a strip club, a hookah lounge, a bar in my entire life.
Yeah, you a weird nigga for sure. He a weird. This nigga weirder than average. He weirder than average. I ain't gonna even hold you.
Life. I have lived a very intentional life. I went from my mother's daycare to elementary school, to middle school, to high school, to college, and to work. Within there, I was a little gym ratty. I played sports. I did this and that. That's how I got my social interaction on. And that's how most people do get their social interaction on. We have these very large conversations.
Most people don't fucking play sports and shit. What the fuck are you talking? I'm saying like at a certain age. I don't think most girls play sports. Definitely know most women don't play sports. What the fuck are you talking about? Is how most people get their interactions. It's not. What world do you live in, dog? Are you a human? This nigga's an alien. He's describing being a human through the eyes of a fucking alien. Like if an alien came to Earth and wore like a human skin, this is what they would sound like.
About a very small amount of people. And again, I just do want to reiterate, if you don't like the negative experiences that come along with like the environments you like to be in, don't try to change said environment. It's too big. There's too many variables. There's too many people to depend on lining up with your personal moral code. Instead, remove yourself from said environments. Why am I
said environments, games, stadiums, work, school, yogurt shops, bodegas, grocery stores, salons, barber shops? What are you talking about? Walking down the street, literally walking down the street, going on walks, walking their dog, going to the gym and exercising.
Having a conversation about what happens at the club? Why are we regular people with 9-to-5 jobs having full-blown discourse in conversation?
That is not what Deontay Kyle was talking about. He was not talking about women in the fucking club, bro.
Conversations about what happens when a woman rejects a man in the club and he like, you ugly anyway, bitch. Why are we talking about that? Most of us don't even participate in that.
But most men, but most women have been harassed in that way. So what does that mean? The group of men that do that is fucking large. It's not one man. Y'all act like it's one nigga per every 100 square miles doing this. No, motherfucker. No. Out of 100 men, 20 of them are doing that shit. That's a lot. That's a fucking lot. And 80 of them ain't doing shit about it. So it's basically 100 men at that point. It's 20 men doing it and 80 men sitting around watching it happen.
Most of us, I would like to say that if you're a married man, woman, why the fuck are you in the strip club, the club, a bar? What are you do? Go to a nice dinner. Sit at the house. Be grown. I don't know, bro. Maybe I'm tweaking.
That last statement, yeah, you are. And this is why the 80 men don't do shit about the 20 men. Well, there's a big reason why. This is not the reason. It's not the only reason.
Men can't hold men accountable because they're scared they're going to get their ass beat.
Exactly.
That's a cop out. Niggas fight for less. I'll fight for this. Niggas fight and die for less. I'll fight for this. This is better. I'd rather fight and die over this cause, trying to, get men to be better people than what? I don't give a fuck. Like, why are y'all so afraid? Y'all niggas ain't afraid to fight a nigga on a basketball court. You're not afraid to fight somebody over some coochie. You're not afraid to fight somebody over stepping over your Timbs in the club. But now you, all of a sudden, you afraid to step up and check your homie. You niggas is bitches.
That's exactly what's going on. I don't, listen. I made a video. They pissed because they keep taking apart a video where I was like, hunters don't complain about bears in the woods when they go hunting. So y'all need to stop complaining about said environment when you go. I specified, I said like the club, the hookah lounge, all them places that I've never been in my life because I didn't think that those were environments that I had to be in. See, I was raised where my dad was like, Son, if you feel like you need a pew pew to go to that place and have fun, you probably don't need to be going to that place. And even through college, I never went to a house party, a club, a hookah lounge, a strip club. None of the things that like I said in that video, a very small percent of people do. I never dove off into that. And
Most people do that stuff.
I do understand that it can happen anywhere. Gas station, Walmart, Whole Foods, wherever you shop, woo-de-woo. But I thought that it was implied that I was talking about places where it happens heavily. Also, they said I was pandering when I said this, and they said I was victim blaming. I don't even know who. Anyway, I said women need to start carrying guns so that when these guys get aggressive with them, you can kill them.
Again, listen to his advice. Either don't go outside, or if you do, be fucking Rambo, be G.I. Jane. Do you hear yourself, dog? You have nothing to offer in this space. You should just be quiet. You have nothing to offer. You have nothing to say whatsoever. Nothing to add to the conversation. You just yapping.
I'm on your side, shawty. I don't shoot that. They start getting all aggressive and rocka, shoot them. I said that. I've been saying that for years. I don't know where we missing.
Because you're not telling men, hey men, be better people. You're telling women every fucking thing. No, you're telling women, don't go outside, buy a gun, ruka. I don't know what fucking guns sound like. Shit sound like goddamn Crash Bandicoot. It's like them little masks on Crash Bandicoot when you get one. Ruka. The fuck is you talking? What gun sound like that, my nigga? But anyways, that's not, you don't have anything to offer. You're not saying anything. You're not saying anything. But the way in which men are acting as if they just don't understand what women are saying is crazy. Crazy talk. Because men know very, very well how dangerous men are. We know very well how dangerous men are.
Quick reminder, the number one reason men worry about going to prison, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, is the number one reason that women worry about going on dates. And if you're watching this right now and thinking, not all men, yeah, true. Not all prisoners either. Does that alleviate your fear of prison any? And you might think, and you would be right, that these numbers are not comparable. It's true that reported numbers are higher for women outside of prison than men inside of prison. And if you think, yeah, but underreporting those types of things in prison, that happens. Yep, true for women outside of prison. A lot more too, probably. During my life, I've had two different friends of mine facing prison time who ended themselves to avoid it. And in one's note, cited that specifically as a reason for why. Namely, citing what it's like to be a woman outside of prison for why. So, if you're a man, whenever discussing this issue with a woman, just put yourself in that context, prison, so that you can better understand the context from which she's speaking to you. And then things like not all men and all the other platitudes you throw out there become pretty worthless without actions to back them up. Just food for thought, I don't know.
And also, even the crazy two things. In the other video, John Cannon literally recognizes that men are dangerous. Because he says, yeah, you can't check men without the threat of violence. So listen, he can clock that you can't even correct, you just can't give men correction without the threat of violence being very, very present. But now you got all this advice for women, and women need to protect themselves and get a gun and do all of this shit. No, that's not the solution. And then, like this gentleman points out, men also know how crazy, how vile, how aggressive, how disrespectful men are, because men are deathly afraid to be locked up with other men. They're deathly afraid to be locked up with other men. They're deathly afraid to challenge other men. But then they run around here and be like, not all men. I don't understand why these women just be acting like it's all men and all men are crazy. Like he just pointed out, not all prisoners are crazy. Some prisoners be in there minding their motherfucking business, just trying to get through their time. They got 2 years left. They got 6 years left. They're going to get out eventually. They minding their goddamn business. They're not minding yours. I think that's a lot of the population in there. But then there's a good amount of the population that ain't minding their business. And they force people that would otherwise be minding their business to get involved in other people's business. And that sets off a chain of events that ultimately creates an unstable scenario for anybody within the confines of the prison. That is the fucking world that we live in, though. That is how the world functions. There's a smaller group of men that are extreme. Then there's like a bunch of men, though, that fall in between that extreme group of men and like problematic. And then you got a very, very, very small group of men that are not problematic. The group of men that are extreme, though, far outweigh the group of men that are not problematic. So even when you look at both ends of the spectrum, it's not like this many problematic men and this many non-problematic men. It's like this many problematic men and like this many non-problematic men. And then there's this many men that fall in the middle somewhere in between. It's really not rocket science. It's really not hard to understand. And I know men know it because men, like this man pointed out, men are deathly afraid of other men. So I know we know it. And John Cannon just said it himself in that video. Yeah, I'm afraid of men too. Then what the fuck is we talking about?